you're the one to believe in hostilities, but you still force the worst upon me, upon me. All you wanted was love, but that was never enough. No, never enough.
Good evening, race fans. I'm Pirate here with Black Flag Racing TV, and it is time for the following round of the TVT, Black Flag Racing Team versus the Virtual Racers Club. We've done the two endurance events. We are now into the sprint race events, and the sprint race event number one is here at Lago Maggiore. We are in the Alfa 155, and the VRC boys are in the Sylvia, which is an awesome motor car, and a little bit jealous. This is round three of 4 rounds, although we will be redoing the first round that we did at Nürburgring because of a little change of settings. So where are we? We're at Lago Maggiore. That's what he says, Lago Maggiore. And bear with me, hold the line caller. I've got the wrong track map up, so I can't put that up. Yeah, Lago Maggiore. So here is the track guide very quickly for you. So you see, not a fabulous lap from me in this today. I couldn't get one of the quicker cars to do me a lap, but you can see what this lap is all about. It is a very, very tricky circuit with a number of different twists and turns. Format tonight is going to be quite simple. It's going to be 10 minutes qualifying, followed by a 20-minute race, and then rinse and repeat twice more, with the last race being a reverse grid kind of slowest first scenario. The 10 minutes qualifying in between each race, you can do what you want. You can qualify for 10 minutes, or you can go off and smoke and drink and do whatever else you want to do. But that essentially is the format for this evening. So we are running a little bit behind, so we jump straight into the group. And this is what we've got going on. And if you bear with me, I've got a little bit of problem with sound coming through. Bear with me. Right, having a little bit of problem getting game sound through, so I've had to turn the television up to pick it up on the microphone and change the amount of background noise the mic picks up. So there will be a lot of background noise from kids running in there. I apologise for that. So, where are we? We're at Lago Maggiore. We've got 7 versus 7. So, racing this evening for Black Flag. We've got Yellow Sausages. We have got, where's the rest of them? FUBAR is in tonight for PM10, who couldn't make it. TJ is in for, who else is missing? Kevin, who's missing. Wiggy is in. We're just waiting for, I think Avalon is the last person we're waiting for, actually. And we've got Chillbass is covering as well this evening. For VRC, we've got Barry Twins, raced last time out. Then we've got Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho had a great battle with PM10 at the Red Bull Ring last week. Brilliant from him. As they reset the lobby, just as I'm going through all the cars and the runners. Apologise for the massive background. It's really feeding back in my ears as well, so I can hear what you guys are hearing, and I apologise for that. So, Ruby's being prepared. I don't know what he's done wrong. I think he's finally got the settings correct. Hopefully he's got the settings correct. So, 10-minute qualifying will start now. Here we go. So, just make sure we've got everybody we need in the room. It certainly looks that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 running for them. Unfortunately, we don't have. We seem to have one more person than we need. Why is that? Or I think they're one person short at the moment, so I think they're waiting for one more to jump in for them. Unfortunately, we don't have an alternative stream tonight from our counterparts, as I think we're not available. So you're going to have to put up with me for the stream for both of you. And I apologise for that. So, Yellow Sausages is leading the charge out. We've got Chili Bass, there he is, CHL, just behind him, putting some pressure on him already, trying to get through and give himself some room. Maybe he should back off a little bit. Home 6 out for VRC, as is Matt Psycho. TJ out for Black Flag, coming in and covering for absences today. Good job from you, my friend. Racer Brown is back. He raced in race number 1. Couldn't make it last week, but he is back for VRC today. And we know he's very quick. Looking forward to seeing what he's got for us. Barry Twins, there he is, number 7th place at the minute for VRC. Avalon for Black Flag. Stormfly for Black Flag. And FUBAR for Black Flag. And then we've got Koi Carp, Wiggy out for us, and the Big Dan. It looks to me they are one driver short, and I'm sure they will be with us very, very soon. Or maybe they're just running with the 6. I'm not entirely sure. Let's have a little look. And they may have sent me a message and said they were short someone. I haven't had a message to say otherwise, so I think we'll just have to assume they are short one or he's coming later. And I do apologise for the issue we seem to be having with the audio input this evening. I can't work out why we've not got racing sounds, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, and doesn't make for a great stream for you guys. Hopefully you can pick up that little bit in the background from my TV, which I normally have turned down, and we will try and solve this technical issue at a later date. Can't work out what the problem is. I had this the other night actually with another stream. It seems to be an intermittent fault that I'm struggling to solve. But anyway, here we are. Let's have a look at qualifying times as they start to put these times in. We've got Chilabas, CHL, he's got out in front of Yellow Sausages, which makes sense being that he is a bit quicker than him. Cheers, Ant. Are the racing sounds coming through for you, Ant, by any chance? Because they're not showing up on my monitor, and I can't hear them through the headphones, only through the TV, and it's a bit annoying. I can't work out why it's not working properly. Yellow Sausages also out with him. They are just about to set a time. Homesick will set one down. Homesick, very, very good. He's great on tyres, doesn't have to worry about him today. So let's see how quick they are. So essentially that's the format. We've got 10-minute qualifying, then we've got fastest first grid, 20-minute race. There is no pit stops today, no tyres, no fuel to worry about. It is just flat out, balls out racing. Oh, they are. Brilliant. Okay, that's good news. It's not showing up here on my monitor, so I can turn the TV down then. Fabuloso. Fabuloso. If they disappear, let me know. The technical issue is clearly just at my end. So we're in the Alfa 155. Very, very good car. VRC have opted for the Sylvia. And I'll tell you what, having driven a few laps in this car, I'm a little bit jealous. It's a very, very good car. So far, Yellow Sausages with a 2:02.7. That's the fastest lap of qualifying so far. With Chili Bass with a 2:03.0. Stormfly rounds out the top three with a 2:03.9. Then we have Racer Brown for VRC with a 2:04.0 in the Sylvia. Avalon Shadow 2:04.4. Homesick Alien 2:04.4 also. Very, very close to Avalon's time. Literally 0.07 of a second difference. And Wiggy, 0.02 of that second difference between him and Homesick with a 2:04.479. Okay, so clearly that is the problem. Then bring them back up again then. Here we go. There they are, back again. And I can only apologise for that. Right. So I do have a problem I need to sort out. Matt Psycho, we know Matt Psycho is very, very quick. 2:04.5 from him. But he will, no doubt, undoubtedly, increase that pace. Fubar jumping in to cover 4 missing bodies. 2:05.3 from him. And that's not a bad lap at all. There is Barry Twins, I think his name is 2:05.6. Quick up, 2:05.8. Let's even keep out of the wall today. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Big Dan, 2:06.3. And TJ, yet to put in a time for us. Although it does suggest he's gone faster. But nothing there for me to see at the moment. But fastest man and the man on pole is Yellow Sausages at the moment. With a 2:02.7. Not a good lap there from Chiliba's second time out. You just basically rewind and go again. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Ant. Yeah, I don't know what that problem is. I'm going to have a big sort out tomorrow because I've had a couple of technical issues creeping in last few days. I do try and get everything set up time before, but sometimes you don't get all the technical issues don't present themselves until you are actually live, and that's when it all goes horribly wrong. There is Stormfly. He is now also, so Chilibus is not on pole because he can't be. Stormfly with a 2:03.9 quickest time, hasn't improved his 2:04.0. Racer Brown with a 2:04.0 also. The times are, I'll tell you what, it is very, very close. And, obviously we've got no Kevin this evening. And we know that Kevin is kind of the very dominant force here for Black Flag. Couldn't make it back in time from work this evening, much to ours and his own dismay. Which is why we've got some cars that are slightly matching. We've got some people driving other people's cars, just purely because he couldn't get the delivery sorted out in time. But, work will always take precedence over this little racy thing we do. And it means that sometimes he doesn't get to race. But, the whole point of having a team is you have other people can jump in. Stormfly is currently looking to try and make some moves. So who else are we missing? We're missing PM10 Racing, couldn't make it this evening either. He's taking a little bit of a step back from league racing for the time being. But I have no doubt we will see him back in the very near future. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Racer Brown 2:04.0. Wiggy with a 2040, Avalon with a 2044. Very, very close between all of them. And I've had a look at the liveries today. I do like the fact that VRC have come with a very similar livery to that they've got on the AMG. Gone for a lot of consistency there. A lot of work's gone into that, to be fair. It's a really cool design. I do like it. I like it a lot. And here is obviously the black flag livery. We have a separate livery for this car. I mean, it's similar to that we had on the Porsche, but slightly different. We do have a couple of different liveries we use for our racing cars, which would obviously change again for things like GT Fusion and other external events that we are getting involved in. While we're just getting through qualifying, we've got about a minute left in qualifying, and currently Yellow Sausage is the man to beat. And I tell you what, he's got to be an outside favourite for this track. It is his best track, Yellow Sausages. He loves it out here, and it's going to be difficult to beat him on a track that he loves so much. So, find the right bloody angle. There we go. And it's a shame we haven't got Thingamajig join us tonight for his version of this stream. It was pretty cool last week having two live versions. Him in Studio 1, me in Studio 2, waving across at each other, doing the commentaries. Kind of like when you go to, I suppose when you go to normal motor racing, you've got different TV channels, all giving you the same commentary, but from different perspectives. Kevin has not made it, Jason. So Chili Bass has jumped in his place. So we've got, so essentially, Jason, we've got Chris, we've got Aaron, we've got Chili Bass, we've got James, we've got Patrick, we've got Phil, we've got Bellend, all racing this evening. But it looks like VRC are a man down. And I wish they'd said something beforehand, because we could have said, okay, let's just do 66. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's all for a bit of fun anyway. You know, there's no money on the line. There's no big trophy for anybody. There's no picture on the wall after it's all finished. It's just for a bit of fun and just for a bit of enjoyment and also a bit of pride, bit of team pride. So final lap for qualifying. Whatever lap you're on now, you get it done because the race will begin. So pole position will be Yellow Sausage 202.7, Stormfly with a 203.0. Chilibus just off that. I mean, that's so close. It's unreal. 0.4 of a second slower. Wiggy is 0.4 on that, 203.4. Then we come back to Racer Brown for VRC. Fubar in sixth place. When people jump in the pits, it just confuses me a little bit. So there we go. Race is going to begin. And we have, at the moment, we locked out the front two rows. Does it stay that way, though? It's going to be absolutely balls out racing here. And we will jump out. As soon as these lights go on, we'll do what needs to be done to jump out. So here we go. We jump out. We can jump back in. And the race is underway. And Yellow Sausage is away well with Stormfly, Chili Bass and Wiggy all keeping their place. Avalon Shadow moves up into 5th. So good start from the Black Flag boys, locking out the top 5 places. Racer Brown holding the torch for VRC in 6th place. Fubar trying to make that challenge to make it 6 in the top 6. But Racer Brown is having none of that. Staying in there, holding them off. Fubar trying to look around the inside there, nothing doing. Matt Psycho having a look as well. We know Matt Psycho's quick. He will be putting some significant pressure on early doors. So, from the back of the pack, we've got Barry, Homesick, Big Dan. Good running from Big Dan there. Koi Carp is just behind TJ, running in 9th place. Matt Psycho running in 8th. Fubar running in 7th. Racer Brown through, running, holding off it, should I say, in 6th. Avalon, Wiggy, Yellow Sausages, Chili Bass and Stormfly make up the top 5. And hello Mama Homesick, welcome to our stream. Sorry Thingamajig, I can't even speak. Thingamajig couldn't put the stream tonight. I hope I do him proud, covering for both of us this evening. But so far it's looking really, really good for Black Flag. Stormfly with the lead, just 8 tenths up from Chilibas. Chilibas has got Yellow Sausages tucked underneath there. Yellow Sausages did start on pole, but has found himself just dropped down the order a little touch. But he's tucked in behind Chilibas there at the moment. Wiggy running in 4th place, and he's got Avalon for company. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Black Flag boys. But here comes Racer Brown carrying the torch for VRC. He has no intention of letting these 5 pull away and will want to be moving up the order relatively soon. Matt Psycho sticking with him as well. These two are very, very quick. I know these boys are the ones we need to worry about. Or the ones Black Flag need to worry about, to be fair, because I'm carrying the torch for both tonight. Bandit, do you know what? They don't need it. Doesn't matter where they finish. They'll make you proud anyway. Because I tell you what, one thing I will say about the race with you guys, I mean, we've done a few team versus teams now, but this one has been by far the best one. It's been very, very fair, very honest. No one takes the pee. You can be very proud. Your guys represent you very, very well out there. And I tell you what, you've got some really good racers among your ranks. Homesick running in 8th. Koi Kart running in 9th with Barry running in 10th. He is being challenged by Big Dan. Fubar looking for a move through, does make the move on Big Dan. Looks like Fubar must have had it coming together to drop down the order there. He's now tucked in behind Barry, trying to find a way through in that Alfa Romeo. Doesn't find a way there, has to tuck in and sit in behind. Moving up the order, there is Koi Carp. He is running in 9th place. Just 1.2 seconds ahead of Barry. 2 seconds behind Homesick Alien. And he is the guy that always worries me, especially when there's tyre wear. Because this guy can drive a car without ever seeming to rub any rubber off. I mean, it disappears off on the screen. But he's still got maximum grip. Very good driver. He is a couple of seconds behind Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho sticking with Racer Brown and then baking challenges now on Avalon Shadow. Can Racer Brown make this move? Or instead, there goes Matt Psycho. Oh, I thought he was going to go through the middle there, but he didn't. Avalon Shadow just holds him off. But now Matt Psycho ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown had his little go at Avalon. Now it's time for Matt Psycho to have that go. And ideally what one of these need to do is just get in front of one of these Black Flag guys and just push them backwards towards the teammates. And that is the way to move up the order here. Maybe a little bit of bump drafting going on as well to close up the gap. But a great start from Black Flag in this race so far. We have Stormfly in the lead. He is he has a half second penalty with a 1.5 second lead over Chilibas. Chilibas jumping in for his countryman Kevin, who couldn't make it from work. And I hope when he does finally make it in, he jumps on the stream and says hello. Because the boys are doing a good job. Yellow Sausages. He was the pole sitter down into 3rd. But he loves this track. I can imagine he's going to be there or thereabouts throughout. Wiggy spinning. That sends Avalon through. Matt Psycho also goes through. Racer Brown through. Homesick through. Who else goes through before he gets up to speed? There goes Koi Carp. So Wiggy and Fubar through as well. Wiggy does get back up to speed, but he's going to have Barry and Big Dan all over him. TJ running at the back of the pack at the moment, some 6.5 seconds back. Just can't get this car dialed in. And that's what happens when you spend your time playing Call of Duty and not practicing. 1 second penalty for him. He's tucked in there, Barry, Big Dan, just behind Barry. And Barry is about 6 tenths back from Wiggy, who had a big spin, knocked him down the order. So all changed now. Top 3 is unchanged. So Stormfly, Chilibas, Yellow Sausages, Avalon promoted to 4th. Matt Psycho into 5th. Racer Brown into 6th. Homesick into 7th. Koi Carp 8th. Phil Fubar is in 9th place now. Wiggy behind him, 1.3 seconds behind him, trying to get back that rhythm. And this is a great thing, you know, when you're racing like this and you're racing flat out, you're not concentrating on tyres, you're not concentrating on fuel. This is where mistakes can begin. And Jason, I know he was. I'm just having a little dig because he was on Call of Duty when everyone else was in the practice lobby at the beginning. I'm literally just having a dig because I can, because that's what I do. I dig him out, Jason. constantly. It keeps him honest. Keeps him honest. He lets him know that we love him. But Stormfly currently leading this race. No Kevin here today, so Stormfly is freed to go and do his thing out in the lead. Chili Bass sticking with him, nice and close. Half a second is that gap. They're not under any particular racing orders, and you can really abuse the track limits there. When you come out turn 3 or 4, turn 3. No, turn 4. When you come out turn 4, you can really abuse those track limits. Nowhere else on the track can you do quite so much abuse of it, but you can there. Yellow Sausage is running in third place, 1.7 seconds back. We are 7 minutes into this race. It is a 20-minute race. 4 laps in, still all to race for. Plenty of racing to be done. Remember, this is a fastest first. The next race will also be fastest first. Then we will reverse the grid from qualifying. We there at that stage we put trust in people not to sandbag. But let's face it, people don't do that unless they're real big knobs. And I don't think we've got any in Black Flag, and there's certainly none that I know of in VRC. Everyone follows the number one rule about sim racing, which is don't be a dick. Simple as. But here is the running order. From the back, we've got TJ, 2.5 seconds back from Big Dan. He's had his spin, but he's closing down that gap now. Big Dan, 2.7 seconds behind Barry. He's 2.2 behind Fubar, who was running further up the midfield early on, but has found himself down the order. He's tucked in behind Wiggy, who had a spin from 5th and has fallen down 9 places. 4 places into 9th. We've got quicker then. We've got a big list of VRC guys as Koi Carp decides to take the scenic route, and that sends Wiggy through, sends Fubar through. Doesn't quite send anyone else through though. But a scenic route there for Koi Carp. He's no longer in 8th, he's back in 10th place. Then we've got the gaggle of VRCs. I'm assuming that's the collective term for a group of racing drivers, the gaggle of racing drivers. That's a pride of lions, flock of geese, and a gaggle of racing drivers. Or a vroom of racing drivers. That's it, a vroom of racing drivers. Homesick Alien, there he is, 4.7 behind Matt Psycho. Super quick Matt Psycho. As is Racer Brown, just under a second ahead of him. They are still sticking with Avalon Shadow. He's now 3.5 seconds off the front 3. Holding on well. We've got the Avalon Shadow and Homesick. We've got 2 drivers out there who are the kings of tyre saving. Very, very good at it. So maybe because they're so good at that, it's not necessarily conducive to just going flat out pace wise. And Racer Brown makes the move on Avalon, tries round the outside. Can he make it stick? He can't, but he's a lot closer, and he will have the inside line as they come up the hill. So he's side by side with Avalon. He's going to have the inside line. He takes the position, but again, it's inside line for Avalon coming round the right-hander. But Racer Brown makes it stick. He's up into 4th, and that frees him to chase after the top 3 of Yellow Sausages, Chili Bass, and Stormfly. Great move there from Racer Brown. Can Matt Psycho do the same thing? Although Avalon Shadow, he has picked up a 1-second penalty. That's going to push him right into the clutches of Matt Psycho just behind. He's going to look to try and make this move back on Racer Brown, but when he serves the penalty, he's going to drop right off. Fastest man on the track at the moment is Stormfly with a 2:02.9. Racer Brown staying just ahead. Avalon looking for the inside line, but that penalty is going to be looming large above his head right now because he knows he's going to have to serve that very, very soon. So here we are. We'll go on board with Matt Psycho. He's looking at the back of Avalon. He knows that penalty is going to be served very, very soon, and he's going to have an opportunity to make that. Avalon does make the overtake on Racer Brown, but I don't know if that's the wisest. I don't suppose it matters either way. He's going to lose he's going to lose a couple of places when serving that penalty, but good overtake from him. Good aggression from all the drivers. Not it's fair but it's hard. Not giving any quarter, any inch at all. And this Sylvia is a good race car. And to be fair, I'm going to be honest. How you doing, Armin? It's good of you to join us. We always have a good, clean race, as you know. We love a good, clean race. Yeah, I was worried about the Sylvia. I felt that while the Alfa was very nippy in the corners and good at low revs, I thought the Sylvia actually was going to be a dangerous car. And Avalon does the right thing. He pulls off the racing line to serve his penalty. And that's it. Racer Brown through. Matt Psycho through. Does this free them to close the gap now? That's the question. Because at the moment, the gap to the front three is 6.3 seconds. Racer Brown lapping in the mid to high 203s. Yellow Sausages, low to mid 203s. So he's got some work to do. Are those times because he was being held up, or does he genuinely have a bit more pace in the tank here? But we will see what we will see. And let's face it, it's only the first of 3 races here. So we're just past the halfway mark. We're a lap past the halfway mark. So we're probably looking at 10 laps here. Well, I think it's going to be 9 or 10 depending on pace. But at the moment, Stormfly in the lead. Chili Bass sticking with him. It's Black Flag 1, 2, 3. And we do note that Stormfly is in PM10 Racing's car today because PM10 can't be with us. He won't be with us actually for the rest of this series. And I'm sure that after the battle last week, Matt Psycho's breathing a sigh of relief to that. I've got to tell you, if you want to see great battling, do catch last week's stream, either here or back on the VRC page or the VRC YouTube, because there is a great battle that goes on between PM10 and Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho hunting PM10 down when his tyres had no right to still be giving him grip, and I think he was one corner short of making that overtake and stealing third place. But he pushed the lads all the way last week. Very, very good driving from Matt Psycho. Should be very, very proud of himself. But running second there's Chili Bass. He is the, I'd say the Greek god, but he's not, because Kevin's the Greek god. He's the Greek prince, shall we say. And he's looking to make a move on Stormfly. There's no team orders here. If you can make the overtake, you make that overtake. Yellow Sausages just behind, sticking with that battle. Really good racing from the front 3 here. The gap they've opened up now is 7 seconds. And there is Racer Brown. He's got Matt Psycho sticking with him. And I'll tell you what, if we'd had Racer Brown racing against us last week, I think the top 3 might have looked a little bit different, because he was very, very solid at Nürburgring. And I do believe we are going to redo the endurance race at Nürburgring. Obviously the GP track, not the crazy long green hell. But I do believe we're going to do that after the sprint race not straight after, the week after the sprint race next week. Because we've got one more, and that will be at Laguna Seca with their settings. The settings are a little bit different from tonight. It's not quite so balls out. There will be a little bit of tyre management involved in that race, but more details on that later. Matt Psycho, there he is, running in 5th, sticking very well with Racer Brown, holding on to the back. Avalon just dropping off that pace a little bit, 1.1 seconds from the back of Matt Psycho. But Wiggy has now moved up the orders, moved past Fubar. He's up into 7th place, 3.8 seconds behind Avalon. And Fubar is running 5.6 behind him with a penalty. So it looks like Homesick Alien might be making a move here. Certainly close enough. When the penalty gets served, will he be getting closer, getting up to speed as Fubar serves that penalty? TJ's moved up the order. He's moved up to 10th place. He's got Koi Kart behind him. It looks like Koi Kart must have had a problem, or a little slide, or a little foray with a wall somewhere, because he is now 3.6 seconds behind TJ and running in 11th place. Big Dan running in 12th. And there is Barry running in 13th place. It's unfortunate actually that they are down to just 6 drivers this evening. I'm assuming they lost someone late on that they couldn't find a replacement. Luckily, we had a backup. I suppose what we could have done, we could have lent them a driver, because we've actually got a driver in the wings. But it is what it is. It's not for we're not counting points. We're not handing out prizes. It's just a nice little event to do You know, we do a lot of internal events, all of us do, but it's nice to go and race other people now and again in an environment that's not daily races. Because who wants to do that crash fest when you can do this instead? And you're right, Jason, it has been very impressive, clean racing all around, and that's how we like it. That's the reason we do this thing we do. We avoid the daily races because we don't like people crashing into each other. And we don't play the single player game because the AI likes to crash into you as well. I was grinding some money earlier so I can buy the 919 ready for the Mind event coming up. And on the last lap, the AI took me out and knocked me down to third place. So it's not just the drivers, it's the AI as well likes to crash. So Stormfly in the lead, there we go, 4 tenths up from Chibas. No change to that front three. They are going round in a bit of a procession at the moment. All very similar in terms of lap times, although the fastest lap does go to this man here, Stormfly, VR46. His tribute to the great Valentino Rossi. Racer Brown up into fourth. Matt Psycho up into fifth. Running very well for VRC Motorsport. Racer Brown with a 2:03.6 is his fastest lap. And just at the moment got no answer to those cars out in front. The pace is not significantly different from their pace. And I'm sure as the race goes on, they'll be able to shave a few tenths off here and there and close that gap. Matt Psycho dropped 2 seconds back from Racer Brown, and we know he's quick. We know he can race fast. Avalon Shadow running in 6th place. He is 2.6 ahead of Wiggy. Wiggy had a big slide. He was running in 5th. Had a big slide. Turned the car the opposite way round. Went right down the order to 9th. Has gained a couple of places now. You say that, but you say that knowing, Jason. So you see, anyone that can't see the chat, he's just said I should try the Suzuka circuit experience because he got a mil for it. But he knows my feelings on Suzuka. He knows I would rather wait for a spoon to rust than bury that spoon for 100 years, take that dirty, rusty spoon out of the ground and pop both of my eyes out with it rather than have to drive around Suzuka. I don't like that racetrack. So, no, I won't be doing the Suzuka circuit experience. I would rather give Sony £25 and buy the million credits, or however much they charge for those things, I don't know, than have to do that. But you know that. So, Wiggy running in 7th. We've got Homesick, 8.2 behind. Can't seem to get it done. He's certainly can put the time in. He's done a 2:03.9. So we know he's got the times in there, but he doesn't seem to be finding an affinity with this Sylvia. Had a few, well, lap 6 wasn't a good lap for him, but struggling to get the lap times down and dialed in. Fubar running steady 2:04, mid 2:04, late to early 2:05s. Running in 9th place, 3.3 seconds behind Homesick. He's got TJ 1 second back. TJ started badly, had a bad lap 2, dropped him way down the order, has started to battle his way back from last. He's up to 10th, just put in a 2:04.1. As Chilibas has taken the lead of this race on the final lap and finds himself with a 2:02.7, stealing Stormfly's thunder. Koi Carp in 11th, Big Dan 12th, and we've got Barry in 13th place. But there is the new leader. Chilibas sat in behind Stormfly for the whole race and then said, right, now it is time. And he took that first, and he is starting to open up a gap. We're on the last lap here at Lago Maggiore. It's a 10-lap sprint race. Just about balls out racing. And currently Black Flag are sitting in the top 3 positions. Chilibas, Stormfly, Yellow Sausages all crossing the line. Then we've got VRC coming in 4th with Racer Brown. Here he comes in 4th place. Good run from him. And a good run from Matt Psycho in 5th. Avalon Shadow, he's got Wiggy for company. Avalon Shadow and Wiggy, 6th and 7th. Then we've got Homesick Alien coming home in 8th place. Just 8 point... I was looking down the order, wasn't I? Just 8.9 seconds, 2.9 back to Fubar. TJ coming home in 10th place, and then Koi Carp as Big Dan for company as they cross the line in 11th and 12th. And of course, last but by no means least, from Belgium, the Belgian flyer, Barry, here he comes. Going to cross the line 18, he's not 18 point nothing, he's 13.8 seconds back. Brings it home for VRC. So there's the first race done and dusted. It is straight into a 10-minute break stroke quali type situation. So people will dive off and go for a wee and grab a drink and have a smoke and then do a couple of laps, and then we'll see where we're at for race number 2. But race number 1 was a very, very good affair. I would like to, before, while we have a little break, is to just talk about something that's coming up on Black Flag TV starting on 10 days' time, 19th of November. We are, for this Christmas, we're supporting Mind. And it's a UK-based mental health charity. And we will be streaming 15 hours of racing to gain some money for the cause. And it is to highlight the 1 in 15 people that over the course of their lifetime will attempt to commit suicide, and help Mind with that, with changing that number, with making sure that people get the support they need. So every little helps. We've got 5 3-hour endurance races that we're going to be running in consecutive weeks, bar for a break for Christmas and for the World Championships, of course. £5 to enter if you want to enter one of the races. You can enter one, you can enter all. It's the same fee whether you want to enter one or all of the races. It is everything's going to be live on Black Flag TV. Watch the video; it'll tell you more. But if you want to get involved, I think I have put links in the YouTube channel. Please do, even if it is just to come and watch us race and stick a couple of words of encouragement up for us. So I'll put this up and we'll be back shortly for to see how they'll get on qualifying wise.
Mental health problems affect 1 in 4 of us. Join Mind now in the fight for mental health.
A donation of £20 could help 167 people take their first steps in getting mental health support through Minds booklets.
And we are back. If you're just joining us, this is Black Flag e-racing versus the Virtual Racers Club in a little TVT event. The room has been reset, ready for the next 10-minute qualifying session. We saw a very, very good first race, which was a front three lockout for Black Flag. But Racer Brown looking pretty quick, Matt Psycho looking pretty quick. Hoping to see those two put in a bit more of a challenge in the top three. That's what we want. We want more challenges in the top three. Mix it up a little bit. They're looking very good and certainly looking good for some racing here. So, what have we got? Let's have a little look where everybody's at. There is Matt Psycho getting some laps in. We know that he's got some phenomenal pace, that boy. And great racing from him last week. I'm calling him a boy. He's probably not a boy at all. Ridiculous thing to say. But there we go. Wiggy's out there. Yellow Sausage's out there. Wiggy was running in fifth until he span. Dropped down the order a little bit after that. Apologies while I just opened my can of Pepsi. And no, before you ask, Jason, it's not a beer. It's a school night. I behaved myself on a school night. So what's coming up on Black Flag TV, I hear you ask, or not? Tomorrow we are over with the Amigos Racing Team. They have got the final race of their Team Showdown, and anyone that's watched Team Showdown before from the previous weeks, this is the Tier 2 finale. We had the Tier 1 finale last week. We're moving to the Tier 2 finale. There was going to be a couple of surprise guest commentators with me, but they've both pussied out. I'm sure that's not actually the case. But it's the Tier 2 finale tomorrow. Very, very cool event. It's not based on individual performance. It's based on team performance. 4 teams of 3 will battle it out in Tokyo for the Ultimate Team Champion. That'll be here tomorrow at from 7:45. If they start on time. They started late last week, and I started the stream half hour early, and then had to stop it and start it again. Because they forgot, they told everybody except the guy streaming it. But hopefully they'll let me know the correct time this time around. Then Friday we are back after a 1 week break, back with Euro Trips F1 on F1 2022. We picked it up at round 4, and really, really good race at Monza last time out, and we move on this week, and I can't remember what track they're on because that would involve having some sort of short-term memory, and anyone that knows me well knows I don't have one of those. But at the moment, Matt Psycho is who's that pulled over at the side of the track? I don't know. Then what's happening Saturday? We've got we're back with Super Formula here with Black Flag. It's another internal competition. Our Super Formula races, and I think we are at Fuji, if I remember rightly. Yes, because we were at Suzuka last time out. We stay in Japan. We're at Fuji for 3 half-hour races around there in the Super Formula Toyotas and Hondas. And then, of course, at 12:30 in the morning, Sunday morning, we travel over to the United States of America for the GT Champions finale. It is the final round of GT Champions, and when we will crown a champion in group, well, in all the groups, but we will here live see who the champion is for Group 4, and we will have them. And I've been promised, he hasn't joined me for interviews yet in any of the rounds where he's been in the top 3, but he has assured me that if he wins, and he's currently leading the championship, Scarlet, if he wins the championship, he will, with his very broken English, make an attempt at an interview with me here on Black Flag TV, and looking forward to that one. Then what do we got after that? Sunday There is something going on Sunday. Of course there is. It's the culmination of the Lithuanian GR3 Championship. How could I forget? That has been raging on for 9 weeks so far, and we're into the week 10, the final deciding week, when Digo just still was clinging on to a lead until the last race out. He led from race 1, and come race 9, and he loses the lead at the top of the championship. So it's all to play for next week to find out who is the Lithuanian GR3 champion for this season. And this will be the last day that Danish D can call himself champion, because he is not in the running this time out. So that is going to be an absolute doozy of a race. And that is 7 laps around Nordschleife in GR3 cars. What a race that's going to be. And then, of course, we go back to Monday, and it's back to GR4 lottery. So what are we? We are about halfway through qualifying. We have something new coming next week. Because the ART stuff finishes this week. It is the last one for the Amigos Racing Team for that team showdown. So next Thursday, we are hooking up with another new Formula 1 team. We are hooking up with Smoking Pirelli's Racing Club for to stream the rest of their season. Now, these guys are very, very elite, top-end drivers at Formula 1. Really looking forward to picking that one up from next Thursday. More details will come shortly. So we've got, I think we've got a stream every day, every single day. Yes, this week and next week. So you've got lots of me for a long time. Hopefully you don't get bored. So Chilibas, Chil, as he likes to be known, is currently the fastest man out there with a 2:027. Yellow Sausages, 2:031. Can't recreate his heroics of qualifying number 1. There is Wiggy. He is 2:033. Racer Brown, 2:038. Looks like his pace is increasing. Is it enough, though, to nick something? I think the key here is if you can nick a position or two early doors, it makes it so much easier for you. TJ didn't have a great first lap. Made him drop down the order somewhat. He is running in 5th. Just 2 tenths slower than Racer Brown. Matt Psycho is just behind him. Less than a tenth in it for him. I don't know why Wazza is joining the room. This is a singular competition race, Wazza. It's good of you to join us, man, but not now, because it's a team versus team competition. Sorry, my friend. But if you join the Discord like you keep getting the invites to do, you would know that. Wazza, of course, likes to jump in the race with us in different competitions, but does so on a kind of ad hoc basis. But today is not the day, my friend. Today is not the day. Avalon Shadow running in 8th. Barry in 9th. Homesick in 10th. Stormfly, no better than 11th. But this is the thing. So you disappear off for a fag and a drink, and then you come back and you chuck into qualifying. You've only got a couple of laps to put a banker in, and hopefully he can get one in before long, because he's back in 10th place. Big Dan running in 11th, 2:069 for him. Koi Carp in 12th. Wazza is out on track. We need to remove Wazza from the group. Can somebody do that? Someone needs to let him know he doesn't belong out there right now. Although, to be fair, if he doesn't get in anyone's way, I don't know how I feel about that. He probably shouldn't be out there. No question, he shouldn't be out there. No offence to him. Okay, so Yellow Sausages is now on. Well, no, he's not on pole. Of course, he's not. This is the really annoying thing about GT7, and obviously VRC, you guys coming from GT Sport, you get real-time updates. So when someone jumps in the pits, you don't lose their lap times. You can still see where everyone drops in. PD decided when they developed this game that they didn't want to do that for GT7, and that it wasn't important information. Well, it bloody is, and we want it back, and we want it now. So let's start a petition and hold up some placards. Let's do what the Just Oil guys do. Let's sit on some motorways and stop people getting to work, so we can cry. You robbed me of my future because you used petrol in your car. Shut up. I'm all for saving the environment, but blocking cooking oil warehouses and stopping traffic from moving, when you are 24 years old and have no idea of what life is really like is ridiculous. But there's my rant over about the stop oil dickheads. So who we got? Wiggy's out there. Wiggy is just 0.05 of a second off the lead time at the moment, which is 2:02.4. Yellow Sausages just behind that. It's a very, very, very small gap to Yellow Sausages. Very small gap. Stormfly has done better. He's got himself up into the top 2 rows. Racer Brown still sticking it in there, holding the flag still for VRC, holding them up, doing the job that needs to be done for the Virtual Racers Club. And it's been fun racing with you guys at VRC. To be fair, you are very fair. You do your fair races. You're quick. You give us a good race, and you make sure that you keep us honest. TJ looking better in qualifying this time out. Can he go better in the race this time? That's the question. Same with Fubar. He's got Stormfly behind him, giving Stormfly a little bit of a slipstream around here. So there we go. This is the final lap of qualifying. Whatever lap you've done, let's get it in, and we will get cracking with some racing. We need to, I think, get Wazza out, get him out of the group. No offence to him, but this is not a race for strangers. Not today, anyway. Unless, of course, he's going to stick on some VRC colours, which I don't think he is. So, someone please remove Wazza from the group. And I will have to say, Patrick, take practice off of the lobby names when we're actually racing. We need to change the race rule and take practice off. I know you're just kind of using the saved settings, but we've ended up with someone in the group who doesn't belong there. And you should be paying attention, you shouldn't be there. So I apologise for a random stranger getting involved. So, Chili Bass in on pole position. Wiggy, Yellow Sausages, Stormfly. Racer Brown, no better than 5th. Needs to jump out quickly and jump back in for the start. And we are away. Does Chili Bass hold the lead here into turn 1? That is the question. So far, looking good. Yellow Sausages in 3rd. But does he make the move on Wiggy up into 2nd? No, Wiggy holds him off. So it's Chili Bass from Wiggy, from Yellow Sausages. Stormfly up into 4th. Fubar up into 5th. What happened to Racer Brown? Just saw him coming back off the grass. So he's gone wide somewhere. And now finds himself in 7th. He's got Homesick behind him. So at the moment, it is top 6 for the Black Flag. I forgot what we called then. For the Black Flag guys. Chili Bass from Wiggy, from Yellow Sausages, Stormfly, Fubar, Philantis, and TJ. Then we've got Racer Brown, who had a poor start. Got himself a little bit squirrely. Found himself off the racetrack. Homesick running in 8th. Matt Psycho in 9th. We have just seen Matt Psycho make that move on Homesick up into 8th place. Barry running in 10th with Wazza, who shouldn't be out there. And I'll kind of have words with Patrick, because we shouldn't be allowing people that are not supposed to be in the room. It's not good form, and I apologise to VRC that this has happened, because he shouldn't be in there, and we should have removed him from the group. Not that we dislike the guy or anything like that, but he's not supposed to be racing with us, and that's partly our fault for not taking the word practice off of the room. It gives the wrong impression. Avalon Shadow, there he is running behind Wazza, and I think he's just noticed the guys there that shouldn't be. Big Dan running in last place. So not a great start from Avalon either. Way down in 13th place. Any movement forward from Racer Brown? He's not far behind TJ. Can he make a movement? In terms of pace, I think the pace is very similar between these two. So we're just coming to the end of lap 1. This will be another 10 laps. Remember, we've got one more race after this, which will be a reverse grid. I completely agree with you, Bandit. I think it should be a red flag. Wazza is not unknown to us, but he shouldn't be in the group. And I will be having words. It should be he should be removed. But at the moment, I think the only person who's actually holding up is Avalon. So actually, it's still a hard disadvantage at the moment. But no, I agree. It makes us look very unprofessional. I will say that. You know, it's a bit of fun, but you still want to look professional when you're doing things. I am going to try and get the message across, but I'm not in the chat with them to do that, unfortunately. So I do apologise. It is very, very poor form. You know, obviously we can't stop people that are friends of ours jumping into the group, but, you know, at the end of the day, you can, from his perspective as well, you can clearly see there are two distinct teams out there. It's pretty fucking shitty. If you jump in, you can see two teams are racing. To jump in and think you are welcome. Bear in mind, he wasn't our practice group, and we were quite happy for him to be in there. It was just a practice group, but it was made clear to him then that it was a specific race. So Yellow Sausage is running second, 2.3 seconds behind. He's got Stormfly for company now. Stormfly trying to make that move on Yellow Sausages. No, believe me, Bandit, if I was running the group, he would not have made it past qualifying. You're right. It was completely unintentional. He wasn't, you know, he's not some sort of ringer we're chucking in there. To be fair, if I was going to chuck a ringer in, I wouldn't put one in that is running where he is at the moment. I would have stuck him. Well, I would have stuck someone in that could actually race. But no, you're right. It's completely out of order. Yeah, I'm ashamed. Is all I can say about that. I'm ashamed in our allowing him in the room. The irony of it is, here's the irony of it, is that Wazza has been welcome to join our team and join our Discord and be part and race with us on a more formal basis, and hasn't taken up that offer. Despite him he's been sent a Discord link a couple of times and been offered that formal offer, and he's been quite happy to just kind of play it by ear and, you know, race here and race there. Race with us when we race with BGC GT, race with us, you know, when we've got Rob, he's got nothing else to do. And no, that's fine when it is not something that's serious like this. But it's pretty poor form. But I can't, the leaders will sort it out. They will. Doesn't mean I can't be pissed off about it, though. I'm quite within my right to be pissed off. But I'll tell you, he's not pissed off. This guy here, Chilibas, 3.1 seconds clear. The only thing he's pissed off about is he can't go any faster. He's absolutely melting it this time. He was stuck behind Stormfly in race number 1. No such problem for him this time. He has opened up this gap. And I'll tell you what, he's a very, very fitting replacement for our missing Kevin today. He comes in to take his place, and not doing a bad job of filling in for his mentor. Yellow Sausage is running in second. He has got Stormfly crawling all over the back of him, but Stormfly can't find a way through right now. There he is, Stormfly, winner of race number 1. No, he wasn't. He lost out to Chilibas. He was the leader of race number 1 for a significant amount of time. And I'm sure when he came into this nerd, Kevin wasn't here, he thought, excellent, it's my time to shine. But it didn't happen. The apprentice came in for the master and laid down the gauntlet. There is Wiggy running in 4th place. Better race from him this time. He did spin out in race number 1. Puts him well back down the order. This time is running with that top 3. Certainly with 2, 3 and 4 anyway. Fubar having a better race as well. He had a bit of a wobble in race number 1, and that's dropped him down, as did TJ, who is now running. So the top 6 at the moment is all locked out by Black Flag, doing very, very well. Wazza moving up through the order. He's very, very quick. But, yeah, if you can do, or just jump in the chat and tell him. It's bang out of order, to be fair. And I'm not, and Anthony, I've got to be honest. I mean, how no one noticed he was in there and thought, let's just let him know he can't race here, is beyond me. But there we go. So Matt Psycho, he's running in 7th place. We're not counting Wazza. because he's not supposed to be there. He is running in 7th place with Barry behind him. Racer Brown running in 9th. I'm going to have to remember now to skip a position. And he does leave the room finally, so the message has got across. Thank you very much, who finally got that message over. And I apologise to any VRC guys. Oh, we are going to restart. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We're going to restart. Loving it, loving it. So the message did get through, and we're going to restart the lobby. I'm sure Patrick's happy about that because he didn't have a great race. So yes, awesome. And if you do watch this, Wazar, you know, nothing personal, mate, but read the room, man. Read the room. Join the Discord, see the messages, and read the room. So we're going to restart that race. How are we going to do this? Are we just going to restart? I think we just start the race straight out again. The easiest way, wouldn't it? Oh, was he actually taking people out? Well, that's not on, is it? Absolutely not on. No, not on at all. Okay. So we go again. This is what we do. This is the downside of doing what we do, is that we have issues like this come up every now and again. Yeah, just go. Okay, one hot lap then. Yeah. I don't know. They should just restart the race. No messing around. Just restart the race, man. Well, that was an interesting development, wasn't it? Let's just type it. Go. Boom. Go. Yeah, let's just start. We end up with, and this is the thing. I know on GT Sport, when it's a random grid, it is literally random. But on GT7, you are basically lined up in your based on your DR rating, and it doesn't do it randomly. So, or does it? Has it set the grid from last time? I think it has actually. It's set the grid from last time. That's not too bad then, is it? So wait for the lights to go out, and I can jump out and jump back in as I have to do, because PD can't code a lobby properly. I play this game a lot. You know, I'm on this game a lot for someone who digs them out as much as I do. I could take a stand and not play it, but that would involve actually not playing it. I do still want to play it. So, a little bit of a change. So, Chili Bass from Stormfly, from Wiggy, from Yellow Sausages, from TJ, Avalon, then Racer Brown, Homesick Alien, Fubar, Matt Psycho, Big Dan, and Koi Carp at the back of the pack. So, will he pull out a big lead again, Chili Bass, this time? Hopefully we have I really want to see Racer Brown and Matt Psycho get involved in that sort of top three. We know they've got some pace on it. It would be really good to see him getting involved in there. Fubar with Barry and Psycho giving him some trouble. Homesick ahead of him. It is side by side racing. But at the moment, Chili Bass from Stormfly, from Wiggy, from Yellow Sausages, then Racer Brown up to 5th. He's making moves already, is Racer Brown. He absolutely intends to get this done. So we had to restart race number 2. We had an interloper in the mix. It was a wolf in the den of sheep. But he is now gone and we are on it. And here we are at lap number 1, race number 2. Chili Bass 1.6 seconds clear of Wiggy, with Stormfly just behind Yellow Sausages, who's running in 3rd. Then Racer Brown in 5th, hanging on the back of that barrel, wants to get involved. And Stormfly, with that penalty, will see that place disappear if Racer Brown can stick with him, and that's exactly what we want to see. Then we've got TJ, Avalon Shadow, and Homesick running in 8th place. Matt Psycho just 1.2 behind him, not showing the same pace we see from him in race number 1. Hopefully that is just an anomaly and he does start to move up the order. Barry in 10th, Koi Carp in 11th, Big Dan in 12th, and Fubar is back in 13th place this time out. But there is the leader of this race, Chilibas. There he goes across the line, 2:08.4, which is not bad for an opening lap here. There is Wiggy in second. Yellow Sausages making the move on Stormfly. Stormfly got past him. Stormfly with a penalty to serve. Racer Brown is ahead of Stormfly, making a charge towards that top 3. And this is what we want to see. We want to see the VRC boys get involved in the top 3 battle here. Really mixing it up and making a race of it. Loving it. So Racer Brown ahead of Stormfly. Stormfly got a penalty to serve. Excuse me. He'll serve that penalty and will drop off and probably lose that place to TJ, the way TJ is driving right now. So the 2 Dutch boys going to have a little bit of a... no, I'm Max Verstappen. No, I'm Max Verstappen. And then one of them will have to settle to be not Max Verstappen. And we've had an issue there from Wiggy. Wiggy off the track. That promotes Racer Brown up into 3rd. Yellow Sausages up into 2nd. Stormfly still running in 4th, but he's got to serve that half a second penalty. Wiggy drops in 6th place behind TJ and into the clutches of Homesick. Will Homesick Alien close him down and make a move on him? And here we go, we're with Racer Brown. He's chasing down Yellow Sausages. He's now in that top 3. He can smell blood and he's ready for it. This just goes there, and then this goes back to things I say quite a lot when I talk about consistency. You know, you can have all the pace in the world, but if you can't, if your pace is 1 lap pace and you can't consistently churn out good lap, you are better off in a race churning out very good, solid average laps and staying on the racetrack than you are every other lap churning out a world-beating time and then the next time putting it in a wall. It's just the nature of racing. And I think on Gran Turismo we're quite lucky in the fact you don't really get punished too much for errors. Formula 1 2022, for instance, your car will end up in bits if you drive like a knob. And we often see a lot of DNFs in some of the races when it happens, and we did last night at Monza. So Racer Brown up into 3rd. Stormfly does keep 4th place from TJ, but it is Chilibas 3 seconds clear of Yellow Sausages, who is just ahead of Racer Brown, who's got himself into that top 3 and intends to stay there. Stormfly 1.1 seconds back, and at the moment not closing the gap as much as he would like. He's got TJ in his slipstream, who has Wiggy in his slipstream, and then Homesick 1.3 back with Avalon Shadow sitting behind him in 8th place. Matt Psycho running in 9th with 1.3 second gap back to Koi Carp. And I hope your little man is on the mend after the operation today, Koi. Hope it went well and everything is cool. 8 tenths back to Barry in 11th. He is 1 second clear of Fubar, who's made up a place on Big Dan. And there is Big Dan running in 13th place. Big move though, Racer Brown's made it into that top 3. And at the moment holding off very, very well from Yellow Sausages. And it's good to see some of those VRC boys making their way into that top 3, making a race of it. I'll tell you what, it's going to be an interesting race number 3. Because positions don't seem to change. Because it's the nature of this track, there's not many places to make an overtake without a mistake happening in front of you. Because most of the corners are pretty quick corners. They're either really quick or they're really tight. Certainly there's opportunity into at the bottom of the hill when you come down into the banked right-hander, because that banking allows you to take it a lot quicker than you would imagine. So there's opportunity there to go, chuck one up the inside there if you're close enough. Potentially in the last corner as well. But other than that, it is a difficult place to overtake. Also on turn 4 or 5, I think it is. Again, another right-hander. But that's it, really. But at the moment, Racer Brown is closing down on Yellow Sausages. Stormfly is keeping the distance. But at the moment, Yellow Sausage's concern is not chasing down Chili Bassian first. It's keeping Racer Brown behind him. Now, we know how much Chris Yellow Sausages loves this track. He will not want to see someone challenging him on his track. As we see there, just how much you can abuse the track limits coming out of turn 3. Or was it turn 4? I can't remember. Turn 4. So here is a good overtaking spot. If you can, get one up the inside here. Or... drag one around the outside if you're really, really brave. it's a good overtaking spot. But then from here, there's no real opportunity to overtake. And we're on board at the moment with Racer Brown in his charge to try and catch Yellow Sausages in second. But at the moment, Chili Bass, we can just see him disappearing off into the distance. This is not a good place to overtake. This is pure, flat out power. And you can keep your footing all the way through there. That's the penalty line. You don't want to be serving one through there. And then we go downhill. This is another good overtaking zone. You can brake really late here because the camber on this actually helps you round the corner. So you can get it changed down into third gear and then back on that power again. No lift for here. You can do this flat out. You can do this one flat out. And then you want to just brake a little bit here. Just to get the turn in. Only down one gear though. And then again another little change down to get round this turn. Then you're back on that power and heading towards the end of the lap. He is sticking with him, but he's not catching enough to make an overtake at the moment, Racer Brown. So that was a lap on board with Racer Brown of VRC. And now look at this, we've got Stormfly in behind. Is there a move potentially on? Racer Brown's going to have to cut off any potential dive down in the inside. He does that very well. But Stormfly wasn't really looking there. He's looking for the little switcheroo here. It's not on. He's trying around the outside maybe. Just slotting in behind again. Again, very, very wide. Very different angles through there. I've noticed the Alfa tends to go a bit wider. Whereas the Sylvia tends to take a bit more narrower through there. So here we go. This is an opportunity with the slipstream. Racer Brown is cutting off that inside. Very, very good defending from him because it's going to mean Stormfly's going to have to back off. He couldn't get the move done under slipstream. Racer Brown defending very well. Is the switcheroo on? Will get a better exit there with that line, but Racer Brown with the inside line. He will take the inside line here. He maintains third place. So he's gone from trying to put a challenge on Yellow Sausages to defending from Stormfly. And he's picked up a penalty. And to be fair, it didn't seem that he cut too much of that corner there. So quite surprised he's been given a 1 second penalty. He does pull over. He won't have to serve the penalty just yet. He's going to have to go round a whole nother lap with the 1 second hanging over his head. Literally hanging over his head. You can see it right there. Hanging under his name, over his head. So is there an opportunity here for the overtake before we get there? Again, Racer Brown covering off the inside line. This is some great driving from him. Very, very good tactical driving. But it looks like he's going to lose out here. Or is he? Can't get the move done, Stormfly, yet again. Such clever car placement. Racer Brown just putting the car in the right places at the right times. But we are only halfway through. He's got a lot of defending to do if he wants to keep Stormfly at bay. But again, maintaining the inside line. This is going to give Stormfly a great run though. Much better exit, side by side. And now he has the inside line. He's going to make this move as we look at his little winder, door winder there. Look at that. And there the move is made. Stormfly up into third place. Great racing from them two. And very commendable. Big penalty for Racer Brown. Another corner cut. Devastating for him. But I've got to say, what fabulous car placement to keep Stormfly at bay and keep the charge on Yellow Sausages too. But that 2 second penalty now has put him into the dangerous clutches of Wiggy. Wiggy looking very likely to nick a place here if he doesn't get it done under the overtake. And it's so much easier doing this race when you haven't got an interloper in there. Wiggy does make the overtake. He won't have the... Oh, no, he does move across to defend that line. But yeah, so much easier. We haven't got an interloper that doesn't belong in a room, barging people out of the way and trying to make his way through the order. So Racer Brown down to 5th place. Got 2 seconds worth of penalties to serve. TJ running in 6th. He hasn't really moved from that position. He's literally just sat in 6th the whole time. With just the people around him changing. Avalon up to 7th place. We spent so much time watching those guys out front that we haven't really paid much attention to anybody else. There is Avalon, 1.2 seconds he is behind. Behind. He's not behind. He's in front. He's in front of Matt Psycho. And Racer Brown, did he have a problem? Or was that the penalty served? That penalty served has cost him another place. So Avalon 1.3 behind him. Matt Psycho 1.1 behind Avalon, not showing the same kind of consistency we saw from him in race number 1. The object of Mama Homesick's affections, there he is, running in 9th place, half a second back from Matt Psycho. Is there an opportunity for him to get through here? He is 4 seconds clear of Koi Carp, running in 10th place, who is 1.8 clear of Big Dan. I don't know if he's that big that he deserves 2 bigs, but he's going to get them anyway. Big Dan, and as he's named after my nephew, and a big spin from Koi Carp. He loves to spin. We saw that in the last race, and well, I say he loves to spin. I don't know if he loves to do it on purpose, but he certainly does do it. So he had a spin last time out at the Red Bull Ring, which cost him some places. And again, around and round he goes. And I'll tell you what, when he does it, he makes it look so dramatic. But a little bit of lag coming there through from Koi Carp. So I don't know if that is causing the problem. There is Barry. He's got Fubar behind him. No move for Fubar just yet. He's still tucked in behind. Can't find a way through. And therefore, of course, Fubar running last. But Barry using all of that road and some on the exit. But there's your leader, Chilibas. He's 5 seconds clear now. We said Kevin couldn't make it today. But has Kevin just gone to his friend's house and jumped on his friend's account? It certainly seems to be the way. No, that's not the case. Chilibas is one of us, shall we say. And doing a very, very good job. I'm glad that he doesn't race as much as he would like to, because we would all be dropping further down the order. But you can obviously see him performing for us in. I say for us, it's a joint venture between Black Flag and HKRT in the GT Fusion Championships coming up at the end of the month. Is the final round of that. And Chilibas, along with Kevin, will be in the pro groups. And then we've got Stormfly, Wiggy, Avalon, Old Man Jay. And I think we've got a couple of new entrants who will be racing for us among the amateur groups in that World Championship. So do catch us for that. Very popular streams, those. Many people on. Lots of audience interaction goes on during those. So if you're bored, in a couple of weeks' time, I think it's the last Saturday of the month, come and join us for that. I don't want to do that. I want to go down the order. Yellow Sausages at the moment comfortably in second, but for how long? He's 5 seconds behind Chilibas, and Stormfly is 5/10 behind him. So he's closing that gap. Wiggy sticking with that battle as well. Remember, Racer Brown was there not so long ago, but just couldn't hold off the charge. Picked up a penalty. Stormfly goes through, and they find himself down the order now. TJ up to 5th place, 3.3 seconds back from the Wiggy to Wiggy. And Racer Brown, there he's got Avalon Shadow for company now. Avalon Shadow says, I want to go and join my friends out in front. Racer Brown's like, you're having none of that. I want to go and join your friends out in front, and I want to take my friends with me. And Avalon's like, no, go on, let me through. And Racer Brown's like, no, I'm not letting you through. You can stay behind me. And that's how the conversation, exactly word for word, is going on right now. Avalon Shadow's like, I'm coming. And Racer Brown's like, no, you're not. Avalon Shadow's like, yes, I am. Okay, I'll stay behind for now. Nice ass, let me through. And Racer Brown says, no. And this continues. Gibberish out of my mouth. So Racer Brown still holding him off. Good battling from these two. No intention of giving it up. Great racing. But Avalon does finally make the move. Okay, says Racer Brown. Go on then. Go and play with your friends, but be in before it gets dark. Cut the corner there. Is that a penalty for Avalon Shadow? I've seen less corner cuts given bigger penalties. Surprised I haven't seen a little penalty jump up on that window. Very surprised. So Matt Psycho with a penalty up to 8th place. 1.4 seconds behind Racer Brown. Can he close that gap? And then can they go and play with the Black Flag guys out in front? I certainly want to see that. I want to see some battling in there from everybody. Homesick running in 9th. Big Dan. There he is in 10th. Koi Carp did a little pirouette, showed off his gymnastic skills for us in that car. Is now running in 11th place, 3.3 seconds behind Big Dan. Fubar has got around Barry and up into 12th place. He is 1.9 seconds back from Koi Carp, with some work to do if he wants to close that gap. We are on the penultimate lap, lap 9 of this 10-lap race. But then looking at the pace of Chili Bass, will he make 11 laps? I can't see how. It's impossible. He's definitely not going to make 11 laps. He would have to be doing sub 2 minutes laps to make that. But Chili Bass 5.5 seconds clear from Stormfly, who has finally found a way past yellow sausages. Sizzly yellow sausages. So Stormfly is through. Yellow sausages in 3rd place. Good podium for him. Better performance from Wiggy this time out. Didn't slide, didn't disappear. Is now running in 4th place. The Welsh wizard that is Wiggy. TJ up to 5th place. See, he's not always a massive bellend. Sometimes he can drive. With Avalon 2.1 seconds behind. Racer Brown sticking with him. Is he going to make that move? It's going back on again. Okay, Avalon, you've had your chance. You couldn't catch him. Let me through. That was a corner cut. Does he get away with that one? Probably. What's going on with his corner cutting nonsense? Or maybe he's just found that perfect line through there without getting a penalty. But Racer Brown sticking with him, has no intention of letting him get away. Now, Matt Psycho not closing that gap. Homesick looks to be closing up a little bit on Matt Psycho. So here we are. We are on the final lap of the race. We're at Lago Maggiore. This is Black Flag E-Racing versus the Virtual Racers Club. And that's how Thingamajig says it, isn't it? The Virtual Racers Club. We haven't got Thingy doing a stream tonight, and I'm absolutely gutted because I love watching his streams. It's much better than watching myself back, certainly. Very entertaining. I need to get some lessons from him on how to keep the crowd interested. But Chili Bass 5.9 seconds clear of Stormfly VR46. A tribute to a motorbiking legend on a race car. Yellow Sausages in 3rd. 2.9 is a gap back to Wiggy. Can't see Wiggy catching him now at this stage. Is anyone still racing? Well, of course they are. They're always racing. 1.2 seconds back from Wiggy is TJ, the Dutch Bellend. 3.6 seconds ahead of Avalon Shadow. He's not Dutch, and he's not Bellend either. But he is half a second ahead of Racer Brown, who is absolutely showing what it is like to battle for every position. He has been a little bit unlucky with penalties. Certainly one of those penalties was crazy harsh. But he is just tucked in behind Avalon, hoping there's a way through. Matt Psycho running in 8th place, 1.5 behind Racer Brown. Homesick 1.2 behind that. Then 16 seconds back to Big Dan. He is 8 tenths up from Koi Carp, who's no longer dancing. He is going in one direction now. Fubar in 12th and Barry in 13th. And there comes Chili Bass across the line. Yellow Sausages takes the second place. Wiggy takes 3rd. Stormfly had an absolute nightmare. TJ through. Is Stormfly home? Finally. So he had a little spin on the last lap and lost a number of places. Avalon in 6th. Racer Brown in 7th. Matt Psycho in 8th place. Homesick home in 9th. There is Big Dan. He's going to come home in 10th place. And Koi Carp not looking like a fish out of water anymore because he is swimming in the correct direction for 11th. Fubar in 12th. And Barry comes home in 13th. And I'll tell you what, this is where it all mixes up because we've seen what the defensive skills are like from some of these VRC guys. And this is a reverse grid type scenario thingy bob ooja flip. So we've got 10 minutes. We're going to qualify. We're going to race. We're going to... it's rolling start reverse grid this time out. It's going to be awesome. I'll be back with you very, very quickly. I'm going to go and have a quick smoke. Why not? Why not? I'm back. What did we miss? Why do you only have 12 people in the picture? The back suits you got a bit. Yes, I'm crack on because it's a 10-minute qualifying session. Now let's go for a bad 10 seconds. It should be reset then 10 minutes. My God, who do I have to kill to get to the champion? I can imagine that fun. Just a bit of fun. But, you know, we don't have this hanging around. Especially because we had the YouTube over joining us and knocking people out of the way. What can I talk about until everyone comes back next Saturday? Doesn't look like it. I hope they are. They need to. They need to get out there and get some qualifying done. Shameless plug. Sorry guys, shameless plug. I'm going to play the Marvel video again. Want to try and raise as much money as possible. Thank you to everyone that's donated so far. But in the immortal words of Bob Geldof, give us your fucking money.
Mental health problems affect 1 in 4 of us. Join Mind now in the fight for mental health.
we are going for quality out there. We'll jump back out in a sec. Just wanted to point out from the video here, there is a slight change to the format. We've removed the Super Formula cars from the 5 races because we've realised that the engine will probably blow up after running for that amount of time, because they're not designed to run for that long. And plus, let's face it, Super Formula cars, you can't PP or anything like that. It's a bit crazy. So we've switched the Super Formula race to a second GR1 performance. But look, if you want to get involved with racing, join the Discord, get signed up, get involved. If you want to donate, please do. It's an amazing cause. You know, if you live in the UK, you know that the mental health services in this country are shocking, absolutely shocking, and it's charities like this.
A donation of £20 could help 167 people take their first steps in getting mental health support through Minds booklets.
Right, let's get back out there with some qualifying and get some racing for you. Matt Psycho not in a position that he wants to be in. That was in a wall. So everyone is out there. Who was that going backwards into a wall? That was someone, but he's spinning back there. So everyone out on track, I think. We've got 12 out on track so far. But qualifying is what qualifying is. We are 8 minutes into qualifying, according to that clock there. So, different format this time. It is. My mind went completely blank then. I knew I wanted to say it, but it didn't come out at all. My mind went, say this, and my mouth went, bleh, and nothing happened. You'll find that happens a lot. And the older I get, the more it happens. And the longer it gets in the week, the more it happens. So, the format is simple. It is 10 minutes of qualifying. Everyone tries their hardest, puts in the fastest lap, and then the slowest guy goes on the front of the grid. The slowest guy is rewarded with a place at the front. And then it is down to the quicker guys all out back, doing whatever they can to make their way to the front. It means there's going to be a lot more overtakes. It means that it's going to be a lot harder for everyone involved. But they have to get out there and get it done. Racer Brown is the first outlet to get a lap set. He'll want to get a decent lap in. He'll want to get involved. And the key is going to be, actually, for VRC. This really plays into their hands, this race, to be fair, because they're going to have some of their... And you know, this is no aspersions on the VRC guys, but there's been a few of the guys closer to the back of the pack from the ordinary grid. So they can actually play a really good team role here and hold up the Black Flag guys for the likes of Racer Brown and Homesick and Smatty Psycho to start cutting their way through and getting in front. And we see what Racer Brown can do in terms of defending. We know that these guys can race very fair, very good, and defensively too. And let's be fair, the Sylvia's not an awful car. It'd be interesting to see how this performs at Laguna Seca. And that is the next race. This will be with us next week. 7:45, same bat time, same bat channel. The only difference will be that they will be hosting, so it will be probably a lot more professional in terms of the hosting, of course, because we are a bunch of... the problem is we're too chilled out, man. We're too chilled out. Behold, you can see before me the field of fucks that I give, and you will see that it is empty. It tends to be our attitude to most things. But so next week will be at Laguna Seca, and please, I hope that Thingamajig is back to do a live stream, because there is nothing cooler than watching Thingamajig back straight after I've done my stream. It is a very, very cool thing to watch, and it's good to watch a race as well from another perspective, because obviously I see it from my perspective, and then I talk rubbish, and then I watch someone else commentate on the same race, and they actually talk sense. and yeah, and then it all adds up. But Chili Bass with the fastest lap. Obviously, we'll start from the back of the grid with that fastest lap. So I'm assuming there's 5 minutes left to qualifying because they said 9:30 to start. But do you know what's really nice is that I sort of lay out the settings and the turns to the guys, and no one fucking pays attention to me. Absolutely no one. But I don't care. No one listens to a word I say. But at the end of the day, it's not for me, is it? It's for the guys that are out there racing. That's the most important thing, is that people that are doing it have fun doing it. Because, you know, we live in a strange world and in strange times, and this is a little escape from the real world that we can have a little bit of fun, and we can faff about a bit, and we can have a little laugh and a joke, and then we can watch that laugh and a joke back, and then take the piss out of each other for crashing. There is another little event coming up I want to talk to you about, which is, it's not a charity event or anything, it's just a little bit of a laugh, and it's being run by our friends at the Black Country GT Riders, BCGT. Very, very small group that have some very cool ideas for races. And they are starting, I think it's next week, Friday. It might be this week, Friday. I think it's next week, Friday. And it's a really, really cool concept. And essentially, it is 1v1. So you all jump in the lobby, you all jump on together on comms, but on track. I will tell you what to do to the end of time, Anthony. Will you? No one, even if I tell you what to do, no one bloody listens to me anyway. Yeah, so you all jump on comms, you all jump on the track. You do 1v1 actually on the track, just a couple of laps. And meanwhile, everybody on the chat is absolutely roasting you while they get drunk. And it basically continues until there is just one driver left. So you've not only got to contend with racing 1v1 against somebody else on the track, you've got to deal with being absolutely slaughtered on the comms. That's a bit of fun, and I've got to say, I can imagine that most people just turn the volume down when they're racing, or hopefully they don't do that, because it ruins the spirit of what the whole thing is about. You're supposed to be able to take the abuse while driving, but that's a very cool thing that a few of us are going to get involved in. So we're currently riding with Racer Brown. We have a couple of minutes left of quali. At the moment, fastest man is Chili Bass, of course, with a 202.5. Racer Brown's done a 203.5, but has he picked up a couple of penalties? So far, he's up. He's 10th up on his time. Sausage's 203.5. Wiggy with a 203.8. TJ with a 204.1. Still not broken that 204 mark in quali. Homesick 204.5. Fubar with a 204.7. Matt Psycho 204.9. I know he is faster than that. Quick Up with a 205.1. Can he keep it facing the right way this time? Here is hoping. Barry is 205.5. Avalon with a 205.7. There's certainly more pace in him. And a Big Dan, so big they named him twice. And I hope I've not offended. Look, my intention is not to offend. My intention is just to have a laugh and a joke. But if I do offend anyone, please write to HR and who will do nothing about it. No, but seriously, if I do say something that pisses you off, then say so and I won't say it again. But there is Big Dan. He's done a 206.3. So, Stormfly, what's he done? 202.8. 3/10 off Chili Bass time. Chili Bass has done a very, very good qualifying time there. And I've just realised we've got two fish references out there. We've got a Chili Bass and we've got koi carp. Which would you rather eat? There's a challenge for the viewers watching. Would you rather eat yourself a Chili Bass or a koi carp? I don't even know if you could eat koi carp. I'm assuming that, bearing in mind that his name is koi carp, that you keep koi carp, and that's why your name is koi carp. I could be wrong. Your name could just be koi carp. Who knows? But if anyone knows, can you actually eat a koi carp? I know you can eat other types of carp, but I'm not a big. I like to eat fish. but that's about as far as my foray with fish goes. My daughter does have some fish, but they're gold ones, and they're very small. And even if you could eat them, it wouldn't be worth it. You'd need too many. It would be, basically, me eating her goldfish would be like a whale eating plankton. Because I'm massive and they're tiny. So Stormfly with a big wobble there. He had that wobble on the last lap in race number 2. Cost himself podium place and finished right down the order. Luckily, there was another couple of black flag guys in there to pick up the slack. You can Google it for me, Ant, if you want. Shall I Google it? Shall I find out if you can eat koi carp? Let's do that. So here we go. Race is about to begin. I'm not going to Google it. Someone else can do it for me. So it is reverse grid type scenario. Big Dan will lead us out. Avalon Shadow. I know it's quicker than that. That's... I know he doesn't sandbag, so we'll see. So Big Dan does lead us out. Barry will be behind him. We've got all the options. I'm going to have to jump out anyway before the race starts. Jump out, jump back in, because otherwise you lose this camera angle. So here we go. Avalon Shadow pulls over to the left-hand side and drops down. Why has he done that? Is it because he didn't set a time? Could be. That is very, very sporting of him. Massive round of applause for that. Very sporting. So Big Dan in the lead, 1 second clear of Barry. Koi Carp in behind. If you can keep it on the road, this could be good. Look at Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho on a charge, as is Fubar. Matt Psycho looking to capitalise on the fact it's just his teammates in front of him right now. So, all change. And I said this reverse grid does mix things up so wonderfully. Matt Psycho up into the top 3. We know this boy's quick, and he's already driving like a psycho. Fubar up into 4th. TJ up into 5th. Homesick in 6th. Wiggy 7th. Yellow Sausage in 8th place. That is Stormfly in 8th place now. Just making his way past Yellow Sausages. But I know Chris ain't going to give that up too easily. Chili Bass already made up a couple of places up to 10th. Racer Brown with him as well. Are these two going to go side by side, scything through the pack now? Avalon Shadow, very, very sporting of him. He realised he hadn't set a representative lap and allowed himself to drop down that order into a more representative position. And congratulations to that. And what happened to Koi Carp, because he is way, way down the order in 13th. So not a great start from him. Clearly had it coming together somewhere. And I'm wondering if there's a problem with his connection, because that's very laggy there from Koi Carp, as you can probably see. Maybe he's got a connection issue. We have had some god-awful weather. I don't want to use the word of God. We've had awful weather lately, and that might be having an effect on that. But Big Dan comes to the end of lap 1, leading this race. And this is the time to call him Big Dan, because now he's Big in the lead. Matt Psycho up into 2nd place, 1.7 seconds behind. Fubar up into the top 3. He's got Wiggy for company. They've got Homesick with Stormfly just behind, trying to make the move on Homesick there. Homesick's going to have this inside line. Stormfly can't make the move around the outside there, but will have another go when he gets the inside line into this next turn. Yellow Sausages with a penalty to serve. He is going to lose a place all the time. But Racer Brown is charging him down. And Racer Brown ahead of Chili Bass, who is down in 9th place. So Racer Brown trying to make some moves through. As we see, I think it was Koi Carp there, brushing the grass. So it's Koi Carp behind Barry, who is behind TJ with a penalty. And abusing those track limits there as you like. Avalon Shadow in 10th place. Big applause to him. You can eat koi and carp. Brilliant. That's good news, Ant. Thanks for checking out for me. Racer Brown, there he is, up to 9th place. He's got Chili Bass has gone ahead of him again. These two trying to find a way to side through this field as early as possible to give themselves the best chance of moving up the order. And there, Racer Brown making a move on Chili Bass again into 7th place. Can he make this move stick? He does. Racer Brown up into 7th. Chili Bass with the switcheroo. And he gets back into 7th. What a great move there from Chili Bass. He does a little switcheroony. gives up the position into the corner, but loses it again as Racer Brown. Oh, Racer Brown going wide there, but does maintain. Oh, doesn't he? Loses out to Yellow Sausages. So he's got to get this car back on the road. Avalon Shadow, there he is in 10th place. Moving up the order, there's Chili Bass in 7th. He's got Big Dan, who's dropped down the order now, down to 6th place. With Homesick second ahead, and with Big Dan with the 1 second penalty as Chili Bass goes through. Yellow Sausages goes through. I think we will also see Racer Brown go through. We do. And Yellow Sausages. So out in front, though, we've got Matt Psycho. He's got a 1.6 second lead already over Wiggy. Wiggy's got himself past Stormfly, past Fubar, and into 2nd place. Stormfly now up into 3rd. He makes the move on Fubar. So it's Matt Psycho. It's great to see VRC up in that top 3. That's what we want to see with these team versus team races. Is their guys up racing amongst the big boys and giving a challenge. That's what we like. Absolutely love it. So Matt Psycho, he's got to hold off the charge from Wiggy and Stormfire and Fubar. There's Homesick in the top 5. Good to see him racing up there. Chili Bass behind him. That's going to be a daunting sight with that guy that's won the first 2 races tucked in behind him, looking for a way through. Where is Racer Brown? He's the other guy to watch. He's there tucked in behind Yellow Sausages. He's got a... no, he hasn't got a penalty. That's Big Dan behind him. So Racer Brown, he is tucked in behind Yellow Sausages looking for a way through. And is there a move on here? Avalon Shadow still in 10th place. He has TJ for company. They are looking to make a move on Big Dan now. They're through. Well, Avalon Shadow's through. TJ does also squeeze his way through. So Big Dan moving down to 11th place. Koi Carp has gained a place up to 12th. But very, very laggy. Laggy is the car, and I'm sure that is affecting his driving today because when you're lagging like that, bits of the road just disappear and move in front of you, and it can be very difficult. Big wobble from Big Dan, but survives. Not only survives, but thrives. I thought he'd made his way around TJ then, but no. TJ back ahead. Koi Carp still jiggly with the lag, and Barry at the back of the pack. But Matt Psycho's still in the lead. Stormfly with the fastest lap. That's a 2:02.9 from him. He's now up into 2nd. And on goes the charge. We're on lap 4 here. It will be 10 laps around Lago Maggiore. It's a fictional track, but it's in a real place. The real place is Lake Maggiore, or Lago Maggiore in Italy. And I've looked at pictures of this place, and it looks stunning. And to be fair, I mean, if you look at the graphics there, this is the one thing I will say about GT7 is that you play a Setta Corsa and the driving is very much more realistic, and you play F1 and it's unforgiving but also very realistic in terms of driving. You've got Project Cars, you've got iRacing, which obviously is the pinnacle of sort of esports, but none of them have that kind of. If you look at the background, ignore the cars and just look at the backdrop. The graphics are something very, very special on GT7, and it's just such a shame that a few things that could be better are not, because they've concentrated so much on the visual density of the game. I don't know if I want to lose it. I like the visual density, but I would also like them just to, if they said to me, we're going to take out a little bit of visual detail, but we're going to make your lobby so good that you're never going to play another game again, I would snap their arms off for that. I really would. Also, the other thing they could do is they could do dedicated server lobbies that we pay for and give us very stable connections. And I guarantee you pretty much everyone in this room would do that. And if you want a guaranteed income stream that keeps the game bringing money in, that's the way to do it. Not sell PlayStation points to buy stupid cars that nobody drives. But Matt Psycho now is in defense mode. Stormfly on that charge. He's tucked in behind, looking for a way through. Is there an opportunity? Great exit out there. But look at Matt Psycho in that right place, defending very well. I've commended Racer Brown on his racecraft, but I've got to commend all of these guys, all the VRC guys. Their racecraft is very, very good. It's not just about pace, it's about putting the car in the right place, and it's very fair. Stormfly does make the move, hasn't made it stick, but he's got the inside line here. He just gets it turned in. He's got to be careful not to catch him on the way through. He has done, but Matt Psycho not giving it up, and there he is. They are side by side, racing down the hill. This is brilliant racing. And we just see the little slogan there, be cool, be fast, be first. Well, at the moment, he can't be. Oh, and was that a little nudge there from Stormfly? I think that might have been a little nudge from Stormfly. We might have to look at that. We'll have a look at that again from footage later. Or did Matt Psycho just go a little bit wide? So Wiggy goes through Matt Psycho. It looked like there was a little nudge as they were going side by side there. But we will look at it again. Chili Bass up to 4th place. He is closing down now on Matt Psycho. Fubar still running in 5th. Racer Brown, there he is, 1.8 seconds back behind Fubar, looking for his way through. Yellow Sausages is in 7th, half a second back. It took some time for Racer Brown to get past him. He has done, but he isn't pulling away from him at any sort of rate. There is Homesick, the king of time, and he's on the gravel, spinning that Sylvia out. Just a little bit too hot and too much on that gravel, and he loses a couple of places. TJ is through. Avalon is through. So the Sylvia not giving him the performance he wanted, and just not enough grip. And he loses the back of the car, but recovers it very well to get going again. Big Dan led us out. He's now down in 11th place, but 1 second off the back of Homesick after Homesick spun. There is Koi Carp in 12th. Struggling today, but you see, he has had a very busy day and a very long day, and not surprised he's probably tired. But he is 15 seconds clear of Barry Twins, I think his name is. So there is Stormfly. He's in the lead. It is a second clear of Wiggy from Wales. 1.3 seconds is the gap. Matty Psycho, there he is in 3rd. He's got Chili Bass crawling all over the back of him. He's struggling to keep up, and I think this is where I'm going to have a little whinge about the BOP in this game, because surely the whole point of balance of performance is that every car performs the same. Not that some cars are stronger than others, as we see Chili Bass moving through on Matty. And here we go with the dodgy sex chatty thingies, and this always happens when we've got quite a lot of people interacting in chat and a relatively popular video. They seem to be popping up more and more often, and I suppose it's an occupational hazard of having teenage boys using your internet as well, I suppose. I'm sure that's the case. Matt Socko making a move on Chili Bass back up into 3rd. The switcheroonie, and there it is. Same move again, that little switcheroo. Such an effective racing move that you give up the place into the corner to gain it back. And yes, Matt Psycho going a little wide there, getting a little bit squirrely. Not conceding though, not giving it up. Absolutely racing it to the limit, and credit to him. I would have backed out ages. I would have backed out ages ago. Like I'd even be in that battle. Anyway, everyone knows I can't drive that fast. I'd be having a little battle with Barry when if he stopped for a while and let me catch him up. That's essentially where I would be. So where are we? Yes, I was having a bit of a moan about the BOP. So we look at, and I'll tell you why it's come up, because obviously I started doing the F1 2022 stuff. So you look at F1 2022 and you can race the cars as they are in terms of performance. So obviously everyone wants a Red Bull or a Ferrari. Or you have an equal conditions setting where every car performs exactly the same. And I think that's how it should be here with BOP turned on. Because what's happening is, and you see, just go and look at the leaderboards, you look at the daily races, and it's the same cars every single time. And we have, internal championships here, and it's, you'll do a free choice of cars, but everyone will drive in 1 or 2 cars only. And it gets a little bit snoozeville. You can't have a big selection of cars. I mean, if you look at our GR4 lottery that we run on Monday, where we handed out 15 cars to 15 drivers based on spin of a wheel. And the disparity between the cars is ridiculous. In order to kind of address the disparity, we put in a sort of PP tuning limit. And even with that tuning limit, some cars can get close to the PP. Some cars, even with huge amounts of tuning, can't get even close to it. And it's just ridiculous. I don't know what the answer is. Well, the answer is to make all cars perform exactly the same. But we have a feeling that because if you look at the Porsches are phenomenally better than everything else. And I have a feeling, and I could be wrong in this, that Porsche have paid a little bit of money for that to happen. So there is Stormfly in the lead, 1.1 seconds clear of Wiggy from Wales, who is 1.2 clear of Chilibas. We're on lap 7. Chilibas is 2.4 off the lead. We know he's quick, but is he quick enough to take this win here from this reverse grid? Matt Psycho still hanging in there in 4th place. Racer Brown has made his way up to 5th. He's ahead of Yellow Sausages now. Can one of these two bust their way into the top 4 or top 3 even? Be great to see a VRC in the top 3. Really would. Makes it all worthwhile when it's mixed up like that. There is Yellow Sausages. He's in 6th. He's got Fubar for company at the moment with TJ. Not having such a great performance this race. He's back in 8th place. Not finding it easy to work his way through the field. Homesick in 9th place. He's 5.1 seconds back from TJ. 2 seconds ahead of Big Dan. Big Dan and Avalon Shadow have got a battle going on, both with penalties to serve. Avalon looking to make the move up the inside. They're side by side. Avalon makes the move. He's up. Is he keeping it though? The switcheroonie. Big Dan. The problem is though, you do that switcheroo there, and if you don't get it far enough ahead, you lose the inside line here, which Big Dan does. Avalon keeps that inside line. Big Dan has to tuck in behind. They've both got a half-second penalty to serve, so the penalty's not going to help either of them. All it's going to do is drop them back a little bit. But Big Dan's sticking with Avalon here and looking to have a little bit of a race there at the back. Coy Carp is 11 seconds back. He's been struggling today, but completely understandable. Barry 14 seconds back from that. How's this battle raging on? Where is it? So Big Dan ahead of Avalon now. Avalon's tucked in behind. They've both served their penalty, and Big Dan comes out the better for it as they head round this section. Going to brake change down gears. 4th gear for the Sylvia, 3rd gear for the Alfa, and then it's going to be 3rd gear here for the Sylvia, and stay in 3rd for the Alfa. Although I changed that a second because I can't get a car rotated for love nor money. It would be easy for me to get a car rotated if I took my steering wheel off and replaced it with a cardboard box. Big Dan is still ahead of Avalon. Will he cut across now and defend that line? This is nothing against Big Dan, but it shows the difference in racecraft and shows just how good the racecraft is of Racer Brown and Matt Psycho. That they know that when you're coming there to defend, the place to go is to put your car on the inside and prevent anyone making that little move up the inside. Big Dan does survive this time, but yeah, I mean, commendable racecraft. And should I start praising some Black Flag guys? I mean, I don't need to praise those guys. I talk to them every day. Dare Stormfly, half a second in the lead. No, he's not. He's for 1.8 seconds in the lead, and he has a half a second penalty. Wiggy is still behind him, but he's got Chilibas in 3rd, trying desperately to make it 3 from 3. Trying desperately to knock on the door and say, I want to race instead of Kevin. But is the move on? It is. He makes that move up the inside. Makes it look easy. Wiggy can't do the switcheroonie on him. So Wiggy drops down to 3rd. We're on lap 9. There is 1 lap remaining. Can Stormfly hold off the charge of Chilibas? Can Wiggy stay that 4 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho? Can he possibly work his way in? Racer Brown's dropped down the orders. He had a little issue. Fubar's got through. Yellow Sausages has got through. Did he lose some time on this lap, Racer Brown? He is making that move on Fubar. He's going very wide again. Looking to do the switch back. tucked in behind. So we are about to complete lap 10. This is Stormfly. He's 7/10 up. Chili Bass has got a 2-second penalty. So Wiggy just needs to stay within 2 seconds of him and he could regain second place. So Chili Bass is going to find it very, very difficult to win this race now from that position. But it is again black flag 1, 2, 3 here, which of course I'm very pleased about. But Matt Psycho again leading the charge for VRC. He did it last time out, and to be fair, was 1 corner away from nicking a podium. PM10 Racing, who's taken a step back for a little while from league racing, did a fabulous job on very, very ropey tyres to keep Matt Psycho at bay. But Matt Psycho was almost flawless in that last race. Very, very solid. So here we go. Chili Bass has made the overtake. So excuse me, I'm not bored, honestly. But he will have to serve the penalties. He will move over. Will he hold the lead? That's the problem. Stormfly back through into the lead. Wiggy also through. So he might have to settle for third here. Stormfly on the final lap is 1 second clear of Wiggy. He's 1.9 clear of Chili Bass. And it's making me hungry, all this talk of eating fish. But would you use a Stormfly to fish? To do some fly fishing, maybe? Can Wiggy close down Stormfly? That's the question. We haven't got much further to go in this race. But at the moment, there is your leader. Stormfly VR46 from Wiggy. Wiggy from Wales running in second. Chili Bass in third. Matt Psycho in fourth. Yellow Sausages in fifth. Racer Brand in sixth. Can you make a move on Yellow Sausages maybe? 1.2 seconds is the gap. So here we go, rounding the final corner. Here goes Stormfly to win the race. Does he win it? Yes, he does. He wins from Wiggy just. Chili Bass comes home in third. And there's Matt Psycho in fourth place. Yellow Sausages in fifth. Racer Brown sixth. Fubar in seventh. TJ comes home in eighth. Homesick Alien, he'll come home in ninth place. Just coming down towards the line now. Then we've got 9 seconds back to Big Dan. Held out well in 10th place. He did start from the front, but really good account for himself to stay in the mix there. And some way ahead of Avalon Shadow, who absolute flying there. Is Koi Carp going to make it through? Koi Carp does make it through. Koi Carp will take 11th place. Avalon Shadow absolutely flew. Don't know what happened there. That was even better than the flip-flop incident at the Nürburgring a few months back. So Avalon Shadow comes home in 12th, and Barry, 5 seconds back, comes home in 13th place. So what a great set of races they were. We had an interloper jump in race number 2. We had to restart that race. Very dominant performance again from Black Flag, but loving the racing for VRC. Very, very talented drivers who are very fair and don't mess around. Very, very talented. Very impressed with it all round, to be completely honest with you. Very happy with everything and the way it's going. So we've got one more sprint race left. That is going to be at Laguna Seca. Same cars, of course. Don't know who's going to be involved that time around, but we'll see certainly when we get to it next week. That'll be same time next week on this channel, and touch wood, my counterpart Thingamajig will be back to bring you all the action for the VRC guys. So thank you for joining me. It's been another awesome night of racing here on GT7 at Black Flag TV. So nothing more to say other than I've been Umpire. This has been Black Flag Racing TV. It's been emotional.